Man, I can't talk right now. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Part 3 of the Cub Cadet restoration. Kind of just throwing this video together here because I got an opportunity to put a little paint on this frame and this rear end. It's pretty nice out right now here, so I'm taking advantage of the opportunity because for March, it's unseasonable. Well, I wouldn't say it's unseasonably warm, but it's a lot warmer than it's been. It's like high 50s, so I've been running the heat in here for a little bit, kind of trying to warm things up. So I'm going to go ahead and get some paint on this. Kind of skipped ahead a little bit here, some steps, but I'll explain to you what I did. So underside of it, cleaned it all out, degreased it, wiped it down, got everything scuffed up under there. Same thing on the top here, wiped it down, scraped everything off, hit everything, scuffed it down with like 800 grit sandpaper. Get the paint something to stick to. So we're going to go ahead and get a couple layers of paint on this, and we're also going to do the rear end as well. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I got here for paint. So, controversial topic. I'm cheap as hell. I don't feel like buying the actual factory Cub Cadet yellow paint, but I did find something that is pretty close to the factory color. So, this is Rust-Oleum Gloss Marigold. So here, let me grab a cap and kind of show you here. I mean, keep in mind this is sun faded, but this is pretty close to factory. So honestly, judging by the forums, everybody that recommended this color, or a lot of people that went with this color, everyone says that it's pretty damn close. If to the untrained eye you won't notice it, but to the trained eye, yeah, guy's gonna notice it probably. So I ain't going for absolutely perfect on this restoration. I'm just going for a nice clean looking tractor. Something I could probably take to a show or two. Or I might sell it actually. Thought about flipping it, but I don't know where I'm at yet. Right now, I'm just tearing into it, having fun. So we're gonna go ahead and get this paint can shaped up. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a coat of paint on this thing, and we'll hit it in time lapse so you guys can watch me paint away. So I'm gonna go ahead and put her in time lapse, and let's fucking get to it. Alright, we got the first layer of paint on that, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move down here to the rear end. I already went ahead and kind of cleaned up a little bit under there. That's the scraper. There might be a little crummies in there. I gotta grab it real quick, but yeah, so we're just go ahead. We're gonna hit this too, and I'm gonna throw it back in time lapse so we can watch that, and then we're just gonna keep painting. I'm just gonna keep painting until I get a couple layers on both of them, and then I'll get back with you guys. Alright, layer number 1 and layer number 1 on the parts. So I'm going to go ahead and let them cure up for 5 minutes. I got to wipe my tripod down. I got all kinds of overspray all over it. So I'm going to go ahead, wipe my tripod down, let this set up a little bit, and get going on round 2. Alright, kind of just want to show you real quick. Second layer of paint on it. Not looking too bad. I think it looks alright. Again, I'm not going for show quality. I'm going for nice, usable tractor that doesn't look like complete crap. So, probably going to be at least one more layer, and then be looking pretty good. So, I'll catch back with you guys here after the third round. Alright guys, 3 rounds of paint on this frame and rear end. So, honestly, it's not a perfect paint job. Got a couple imperfections here and there, but it still looks 1,000 times better than what we started with. So, I'm good with it. But, we're going to probably go ahead, we're going to let these dry up, and then we can marry the two together. Start kind of making a tractor again. And the underside looks phenomenal too. So I'm liking how it's looking. So we're gonna go ahead. Gonna keep working on parts here slowly, surely. I'm gonna go through the parts first and then clean them up. Then I'll put them back together and then get them painted, and then we'll get them ready to be mounted to the tractor itself. So slow process, we're getting there. This is gonna take probably a week's worth of time here, kind of going through each part, but that's what we're doing. So I'll catch back with you guys probably tomorrow when I keep going and start putting things together, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, got the axle here. I went through, wire brushed every flake I could get off this thing. Got the spindles kind of covered up here, and we're just gonna go for it. A little bit of dust on there still, so should be alright for paint. It's already pretty pitted as it is, so it should just suck it right up. So we'll go ahead and get paint on this too, and we're gonna let these parts dry. Progress update. One coat of paint on the axle here. It's definitely sucking up a lot of paint, so it's definitely going to take more than one coat, but we're getting there though. So I'll keep you guys updated as I keep putting coats on that, and then these are just drying now here at this point, so I'll keep updating you guys as I go along with parts, and we'll keep at it. Alright guys, man, I love saying alright guys. Anywho, skipped ahead a little bit. It's the next day, kind of throwing this together here a little bit to start getting somewhere. So I put the axle back underneath it, grease the pen, put it in. There's 3 coats of paint on that now. So there's 3 coats of paint on everything that you see right here. So got the chassis bolted on. Probably gonna do the heads of those bolts just to kind of blend it in a little bit. But yeah, now we're kind of really starting to see a tractor here again. So yeah, I'm gonna get some sawhorses set up, put a top over it here so kind of cover it with some plywood, so then it's not getting messed up, and then I can start working on those. And I happened off camera, but when I was putting this on here, getting this all set up, I dropped the rear end on accident, and this stupid hitch that the previous owner, somebody welded on there, went right through my grill. So that's nice. Should be able to bend that back out though, I'm hoping. It was already kind of damaged in the one spot right there, but now it's got a huge dent in it there. So it's going to require a little banging, smashing, getting it straightened out, but we'll be alright. So I'm going to get some sawhorses set up, get the plywood over here, and then I can start painting some other parts, scuffing them down, and getting them, and then slowly just start putting this thing back together. So this looks fun. Yeah, so got the sawhorses set up. Junk plywood put over the chassis sitting under here to keep protected for now, and we're going ahead and getting some more parts kind of painted up here. Got the steering gear there, drag link here for the from front axle to that, seat bracket there, seat bracket part there. It's for the seat bracket, it goes on there. Anyways, got that, and we're doing the grill too. Oh, I did forget to mention, we actually do have a couple other parts. We got our foot peg here, got gas tank straps, yeah, there's a couple, and the brake lever here. So there is a couple more parts to do, but nothing too crazy though. I'm just kind of focusing on getting the main parts right now, so yeah. Progress update. Grill, little bracket there, and primer on the seat right now. Kind of got both sides coated there. I'm going to do another coat of primer on that, and then give it a quick little scuff with some 1000 grit sandpapers to kind of fill in all the edges, try to make her smooth. Get paint on that, the white paint. Got some white going on this and this. Cub Cadet purists are gonna hate me, but we are using pure white for Rust-Oleum. It's not quite the exact white that you would normally use, but you know what? It's what I had locally. It's what's available. I'm going for it. And I gotta actually start getting this thing back together because I have more projects that I need to do, and this thing is starting to take up space. So we're getting to it. So quick little progress update. I'll keep making short little videos, and I'll pretty much put them all together as I'm painting it, and then eventually we'll get to assembly. So carrying on. Well, I put the grill back together. That looks pretty freaking good. Their nudie emblem there. I love it. But our seat's painted now. Got 3 coats on that. Actually 4. I got 4 coats on that. So that's looking pretty good. And we have moved on to the hood. Wire wheeled it all off, got all the loose stuff off, and now we got 3 coats of primer on so far. We're gonna do 1 more coat on it, and then I'm calling it good for the night, and then I'm gonna let the primer set up before I put paint on it. Our progress update. Getting sicker by the day apparently, but we're still hammering this thing out. We got paint on the hood. It's looking pretty good. Got about 3 coats on that, and then the 2 coats of primer underneath it, so I think we'll be looking pretty good. So they'll be drying up, and then also over here in my inventory, a couple beautiful decals go right on that hood eventually. So we're gonna keep plugging away. Center console, tower, wire wheeled down on the outside anyways. I tried to do as much as I could, but be looking alright after this paint job. Center tower's looking pretty good. We got 2 coats of primer on it, inside and out. Looks pretty good. Kind of moving right on through. We got some more parts. Getting some paint going on here. We got about 2 coats on this, just some miscellaneous stuff here, and I'll go ahead and show you the decal. Look at that. I'm gonna try to hold the phone sideways a little bit so you can see a little better. Yeah. Got those stuck on there. I didn't do quite a perfect job getting them on, but I think we did pretty good though. Those look great. Oop, my bungee cord's swaying around like crazy. Oop, try not to let that bang around too much. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Those look pretty freaking good. I love those decals. They look real good. Only thing we're just missing is the little hood ornament, but I gotta order one of those because if you all look at this, mine's broken, unfortunately. And those screws are broke off too, so I gotta find a hood ornament that's still on one piece. Probably pay a freaking premium for one of them, so just gotta find one of them. But I gotta get another coat of paint on this, and that will be good for the night. I'm gonna paint this tomorrow, make it match that. That'll be really good looking, and then or should I say the next time I get the chance to work on this. But all I have left is foot pegs. Gotta mask those foot pegs off for black. Rest of it's yellow, clutch, and engine. So we're coming right along here, but hopefully I can start assembling this in the next few days. So we'll keep plugging away. Alright, a little more of an update here. Got 2 layers of paint on this. Kind of got 2 layers of paint on the clutch assembly here. Working on that. And then we step outside here. Got the foot pegs hanging by the wire here. Getting those done too. So we're gonna get the layers of paint on these, get that put up. And we're gonna go ahead and do the lever here for this. We're gonna do that. And I think there I'm just gonna start
putting the main tractor together, and then we'll start digging into that at some point. So we're moving along pretty good. Alright, a little video update again. We got probably 3 layers of paint on the hand lever assembly. So probably going to try to get one more on that. Over here though, we got the tower, got some clutch parts, foot pegs, steering wheel, the actual clutch itself. Got some of the other parts, air cleaner, and clutch, brake rod, seats back there, grill, front guard, hood, the steering gear, and the drag link are back there. Seat bracket, gas tank straps. So I'm gonna get one more coat of paint on this, and then we got to get the gas tank done too. I got to get gas out of that and dump it out, get a coat on it, and then I'm gonna throw it in the time lapse here. Me tearing the covers off this engine and everything else that I want to paint, and then we're gonna get these scuffed up tonight. Probably get a coat of primer on them actually, because I want the paint to last on this one for a little bit. So it's primer on that, and hopefully paint it tomorrow. So we're moving right along, but we're gonna get a coat of paint on this time lapse, and we'll keep going. Before I throw in time lapse here, just want to show you real quick. Time lapse for tearing the edge down. I just want to show you real quick the gas tank. Amazingly, it is still in good shape. Still got a little bit of pitting, but nothing's going through. So still a solid tank. We'll go ahead and get some primer on it. That'll help stop that rust, and then get some actual paint on it, and it should be a-okay. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick what it looked like all scuffed down. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you real quick, stop this time lapse. Fortunately, it's not going to be perfect. I wanted to pull this off of here. I thought I could get it, but with the pulleys, there's 2 set screws back here. And I managed to get the one out, but there's another one in the back that's pretty rusted on. So I'm going to play it safe. Try not to ruin this. I'm just going to leave it on there as it is. I'll just paint the pulley up around it and make that all pretty. I wanted to pull it off so I could paint behind it and all that, but that's not going to be able to happen, unfortunately. So we'll leave her how it is. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to tear this down a little bit. We actually did knock the flywheel off, so that's cool. But we got that far. Managed to get a couple little mouse nests out of the back of that. So you can see. Yeah, managed to get that out, so. Well, that's good. We can get a clean up behind there, but we'll go ahead, carry on with the time lapse here, and go ahead and tear this down the rest of the way, and then we'll get it to where it's paintable. And today, we're going to start putting stuff back on it, because I need to get these wheels and tires painted, and I want to make some space back here, so that I can set up like a little booth paint deal back in here. So we're just going to have to start putting some parts back on and start putting this thing back together. Part 4 is going to be a lot of time lapse going on, because I want to make a 30-minute video of me kind of bolting the thing back together. So it's going to be a lot of different time lapse shots. I'll kind of explain to you what I'm doing as I'm moving along, putting it together. I've already kind of skipped ahead just a little bit. So I got the clutch pedal put back in here with the brake. I do have to bend this out a little bit because it's touching on the frame right there. So I do got to bend that back out. But so besides that, I'll kind of peek under here real quick too. I'll show you. Yeah, so all that's back together. I forgot to paint that piece, but I'm not too insanely worried about it because it's not exactly perfect under here either. It's gonna get dirty again, so it's gonna go to it. But like I said, not going for show quality, just going for usefulness and for it to last another 50 years or more or however long. So all that's back together. So next step, I'm gonna actually put the seat and the seat bracket back on. Just kind of put that on, and then I think we're gonna end up moving to the column or the tower with the steering gear. So I'll kick it into time lapse. I'll do a quick little one of that there, and then we'll just kind of keep moving along. Alright, next up we're going to do is we're going to get the actual clutch assembly in. And then we'll do foot pegs, steering gear, tower. But anyways, so we'll kind of explain to you what we got going on here. So if you remember from part one, got the 2 bolts on the side here. There's one on the other side. And then once you get that, got the linkage here. That's going to go onto the actual pedal here. So as you push it down, it's going to pull the clutch spring, and that'll disengage and engage it, and then you just bolt the neck to your rag joint down below. So again, I'm gonna kick her in the time lapse, put it in, and then we'll move on. So as a special notice, as you're doing this, so if you gotta replace your belt and you have your Cub tore apart this far, this is the time to do it. Because you take your clutch out and all that stuff when you're doing this project. But it's a pretty easy one to do if you gotta do it while it's in the tractor and the engine's got all in there and stuff. It's not too hard to do. And also, for your actual belt tension adjustment, you want to leave all these bolts loose, which I did. I got them kind of just started, snugged them in there for now. So when I do mount the engine back in, I can get the proper tension on the pulley there, and then so it's not slipping. So there's that. But we're gonna go ahead. I gotta put that linkage on the lever there, so I have an actual clutch. So after this, we're gonna do foot pegs. Alright, next step. I'm kind of just pulling parts out here, laying it out, and then taking the video to try to keep it short and sweet. But it's working out pretty good. Next part, your lift lever, foot peg combo. So best way to do this is you're going to take this whole assembly here, right underneath, feed the handle up through here, and then you can do your 4 bolts on the bottoms here. So you got the 2 on this side, and then you got the 2 on this side, and then you got your height adjustment bracket there, and then that's just going to go on the side here. So you got that hole there, and then the actual foot pegs go on there. And then when you put these on, that one bolt's going to come around, then it's going to come in the front, and then go onto these bottom pieces right here. So there's going to be one there, and then there's going to be one on the other side as well. So again, kick it in time lapse, throw it together so you can see how it goes, and we'll keep going. Alright, next step, steering gear. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I kind of just have it sitting in here right now, but yep, just make sure your linkage is facing down, so then you can actually bolt it on there when you do your drag link for your axle, and then yep, just drop her in, 2 bolts go through there. So I'm not even going to do a time lapse of that. I'm just going to bolt it in quick, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, next step, tower. It's starting to really look like a tractor now. So obviously you just got to have your 4 little bolts going in, one there, and then don't forget to put your new steering grommet in while you're at it. Keep this thing nice and solid. So we'll go ahead and put in time lapse. So throw this on, and then keep going from there. We're looking pretty good actually. Alright guys, camera cut out on me. My battery was getting low, so I had to plug it in, and I ran into a little issue. These back two bolts weren't going in, so I just ran a tap and die through them really quick. Well, a tap just to clean the threads out, and I cleaned the bolts up. And then they went right in. So that's pretty much set there. So I think now at this point we're going to go ahead and get this steering wheel put on. And then we can do the drag link there. So we'll move on to this, and we'll see how this looks on there. Alright, next piece. This is our drag link here. So obviously gonna want to pay attention to this as well, so then you got your steering correct. So go ahead, make sure your axles are nice and straight, facing where they should be, and then also go ahead and figure out your rotations on your steering wheel. So all the way to the left, that's one. We'll use this as a point of reference. So that's one full rotation, and just past two right there. So if we go back, that should be about center of the steering travel on the box there, the steering gear. So, and also you want to pay attention as well to the direction of which way your linkage is here. So I'll kind of try to hold it like this, but you see how it's kind of going sloping up to the right there? So that's what you're going to want to be looking at. And then this sticks up like that, so down there, and then that bolts to the side of the steering gear. So it's going to be kind of hard to show how it goes on there, but I'm going to go ahead and bolt that on. I'll show you once I'm done, and then we're going to move, I believe, to the grill and hood for temporary sake, so we can kind of get things out of the way. So probably will have to take them back off while you mount the engine in there, but we'll see what I can work around with. So we'll possibly mount these next, and then we'll get a good idea of how this tractor is going to look when it's done. Alright, got our drag link all hooked up here. Go ahead and show it down below. Yep, so bolted in right there on the steering gear and right up front. We're looking pretty good. But now we're going to get into the piece of resistance. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mount this grill and this hood on here so we can really get to see how this thing looks. So I'm going to set up the camera towards the front here so we get a nice view of it, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to mount this up, and I can't wait to see how this looks. Even without an engine in it, I just want to see how it looks. So like I said in the last clip, probably we'll end up having to take them back off just because it'll make it easier for mounting the engine, but for now, for temporary sake, just get stuff out of the way, we'll go ahead and mount those. So because the engine still needs paint, still needs tore down, we got to go through this thing. I got to bolt this head back on because I had a spark plug issue. I'll kind of explain it. So this actually had a Healy coil in it, in the head that was in this. I had a parts motor laying around. Luckily, it's actually was a newer style of this, but same head. So I ended up swapping the head, so it's still the factory spark plug that it should be, and it's no Healy coil. So gonna be cleaning that up. That'll be in part 5. Part 5 will probably be the engine strip, paint, put back together, pretty it up, and mount it in here. And then probably part 6 will probably be wiring and running the throttle cables and all that stuff. And while I'm doing all that, I will be getting those wheels and tires painted as well. So we're gonna be doing a lot of things at once, but putting parts together so we can keep these videos uploading, and then we'll have a tractor all back together soon enough. So let's go ahead and get this grill and hood on here. Man, this thing's looking good. Alright, let's get this freaking hood on. This thing's gonna be sick. Alright, you guys ready to see the hood on this thing? Go to zoom out dramatic. Ooh, look at that. The camera doesn't do it justice. It looks pretty good. Man, oh man. Long time coming. But it is becoming a Cub Cadet. Looks great. Alright, I got one last thing I want to do this thing for now. And then I'm gonna go probably edit this video, put it all together. I gotta charge my phone. My phone's almost dead, so I want to put the voltage regulator on here. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna do that, and then hopefully the next part's gonna be engine cleanup and going on to really getting this sucker put together. So thank you guys for watching. Extractor's looking great. Let's go ahead and just put this voltage regulator on, and we'll cut the video out and we'll go from there. Alright, voltage regulator is in. Nice and gleaming. So that's going to conclude part 4 today, I believe. Go ahead and shut her down. So, we'll be back for part 5. We're going to get this sucker put together. So, thanks for watching. Stick around.